Ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to check your bags, get your boarding passes ready, get in your seats, get comfortable. We're about to take you off on another edition of the Tuesday Night Flight. I am the Midnight Rider. He is the Gentleman Jack Carr. And we are here to entertain you this evening on a little Tuesday Night Flight. The Boss Man B is on assignment.
Damn, I don't get no introduction. Damn, I'm here too.
I was trying to get to you. I mean,
every time, get up the steps.
Damn. Damn.
Are you a Commander's offensive lineman in the red zone? I mean, what's this false start? I didn't even get a chance to say your name.
Damn.
The person that rudely interrupted me is the big guy KG, who's gonna be in the background, hanging around, helping us with some banners. Is that good enough, Your Highness?
Damn, man. It's just like they forgot my name. Y'all hear that? Like the dude shows me no love, man. I thought we was cool, man. I thought we was family.
Let me get you. And we got over here next to me the great one, the big guy KG. There you go. You cool?
See, Jack understands the assignment. I'm feeling bad. Jack got me feeling good. Now let's go.
Trying to get both of y'all feeling good. Come on.
That's all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we decide to do today is recap from the Sunday Rise. We did 6 games. We're gonna give you the follow-up, the recap, the skinny on those 6 ball games, if you will. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the NFL Week 3 recap. First and foremost, Jack, was it anybody this weekend that kind of just stood out to you and just like kind of made you be like, okay, we might have something here?
I got 2 things like that. Really, I mean, and I know everybody's going to start chirping at me, but I'll tell you, Washington's offense looked good. And what they've done the last 2 games,
cool.
Washington.
Oh,
offense did everything I've been suggesting they do.
Oh, so
get Eckler in the game. Get Eckler in the program. Did it. They did it. And you've seen it. And then finally hitting Terry Long. I thought Jaden was throwing the ball a little bit further this game. Defense still looks like ass. I knew you had to score 30, 35 so to beat them because they was going to put up 30. So, game plan for the Redskins, for the Commanders, I'm going to say it once, for the Commanders game was good, man. It was a totally different game. I haven't seen
whoa. You're bringing the lead. We'll get to that game later. We starting off with something else.
Okay.
I just wanted to know.
That was one. Oh, what did you see that you thought was popping off? You know what?
It's easy. In some places they call this kind of a little transition because mine is the Vikings versus the Texans game.
Yeah.
I think it was crazy watching this game, seeing how CJ Stroud and company just couldn't get off. The Vikings end up winning this ball game 34-7. The little thing that stuck out to me, the Brian Flores blitz packages. They attacked CJ Stroud from everywhere. I think 2 times the water boy, 1 time the popcorn guy, and 1 security guys all blitzed on the same play. So they confused the Texans. I think they didn't let Mixon get going, and the Texans never found their footing. And I don't know what to believe. I mean, right now, if you had told me that Sam Darnold was going to play the way he's playing right now, I would have probably thought you were crazy and probably had more belief in the Tooth Fairy leaving money under people's pillows than that happening. So I apologize to the kids that didn't know the Tooth Fairy didn't exist. That wasn't my plan just now. But yeah, I mean, Darnold's been on fire. What's your thoughts on this ball game?
I always like Sam Darnold. He's got damn near perfect quarterback build. You know, he's long, he's tall, he's big. Texans Penalties killed the Texans yesterday. Sunday. Penalties. And them 2 picks didn't help. They were, gave them short field. You're going to give a decent quarterback short field, he's going to put it in the end zone. So I feel them 2 picks, and I believe it was 11 or 12 penalties for Houston Sunday. You can't do that. It just takes away from good, It's like subtraction from plus. So, great game by the Vikings, man. I was surprised. I picked Houston in that game.
I think everybody did. But the fact that you had Darnold go for 181, 4 TDs, I'm telling you, having a guy like Jefferson is amazing, but I think this pickup is Jones. Picking up Aaron Jones is the guy that can take some of that pressure off of him. He doesn't have to do everything. It doesn't have to be what I call 72 and sunny. He can kind of get in, have some fun, make some plays, and then boom, that's it. And that's all you really need from him at that time too. So, yeah, that's definitely a big plus. Anything else before we get out of this? Hey,
Donald, what's up, BJ Boss man?
What's going on, fellas? Some technical difficulties, but I'm here though.
I see you. So, I think Sam Darnold controlled the game. He didn't have huge numbers besides the 4 TDs, but he controlled the game. His completion percentage was on point. That game was controlled by Minnesota. And time of possession was even, but it was controlled by Minnesota. And Darnell's doing the same thing that boy's doing. Who's that other? He's just doing enough to keep the team on track.
Right.
He's not trying to be a Peyton Manning or a Tom Brady. He's doing what he has to do to be successful. And it doesn't always mean throwing for 500 yards. I thought he controlled that game and did right well. Sam Darnold, good job. Thumb up to you, boy.
All right. We were joined by the boss, BJ. BJ, we just touching on the Vikings and the Texans game. Anything stand out? Any thoughts on this?
Just a quick thought, man. Sam playing with a chip on his shoulder, man. He playing like they put him in the garbage bag and threw him out. And it's good to see players have that chip, man, because now they got something to prove. It's good to see that journey. Baker went through it. Baker's been a trash can a couple times. So we'll see how Sam Darnold, fare out the rest of the season. I love a good success story, man. But kudos to Sam Darnold. Kudos to the Vikings. The season's still young for the Texans. They got some unique problem. So we've already talked about that.
Hold on. Maddie says, kind of surprised no one in our 624 team league has tried to get done.
That's what you say. Maddie is talking about our fantasy football league the Junkies got, and we invited some friends to come in. And Maddie, I don't think we got 624. I think we just got 36 teams.
I think we just added 10 teams.
Every week somebody talks. But Maddie, you 3-0, so stop complaining about how many people in the league. Right, fellas?
I guess so.
We 3-0.
All right. So game 2 on the log, the Detroit Lions versus the Arizona Cardinals. Ball came out 20-3. Let's start with the boss. We haven't heard your voice in a while besides that little 3-minute clip. You got anything for us, or you want us to come back to you?
Come back to me.
All right, Jack Carr, talk to me.
Well, it wasn't the game. It wasn't the game I thought it was going to be. I thought Goff was going to go off on Arizona's defense. What was Goff? 18 for 23, buck 99, 2-1, 2 picks, 1 interception. Closer game than I thought. Montgomery got off pretty good. He had over 100 yards. So, Detroit did the same thing. They controlled the game the way that they had to, whether it was running the ball or throwing the ball. But majority of this night, it was running the ball. I'd love to see their attempts rushing and their attempts throwing. I think they ran the ball pretty even, and that kept them in control of that game. So, yeah, I think I picked the Lions on that one.
Did you write it down? Or you saying you picked the Lions?
It don't matter. It don't matter. I told you I couldn't find my book, so it's whatever I say it is. Nah, Detroit. Because I said Hutchinson was going to give Kyler Murray a hell of a time. And I'm not sure what Hutch did yesterday. I can check real quick. Hutch got one sack yesterday.
Hutchinson gave you 6 total tackles, 4 solo, 1 tackle for a loss, and 1 sack.
Yeah, but I guarantee you he was in there breathing on him most of the game, you know?
So it looked like Detroit came out with a message to send. Their 2 top backs is 39 carries, 188 yards at a probably like a 4.8 clip. I think
39 carries for them too?
39 between the two, yes, sir.
So they ran it way more than they threw it. They only threw it 23 times.
Yes, sir.
You don't see that much anymore in today's NFL.
Nah, Detroit's trying to send a message early on that they are trying to be physical. It's just like that last drive in the game they had where they went into overtime. They just pounded the football down. I forgot who that was last week that they beat up on, but it was just merciless. And I think that's going to be their way to saving themselves a little bit. So they figure out the James Williams situation. Like, is he a consistent two? Things like that. They can just work their way through. That's why I just wonder when people get upset so early in the season. Like, you haven't given this team time to find his niche, find his place.
Oh,
go ahead, boss. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, B.
I said something. Can't remember if it was last Tuesday before. Detroit is going to go through what my Buffalo Bills have went through the last couple of seasons, where they're not going to sneak up on nobody and be sneakily good and, you know, come in and play with the heart of a champion. They have a target on their backs now, and they're going to have to play a different – teams are amped up for them, geared up for them. They're going to have to play a different style of ball. And the big guy, KG, got to love this because I see a small shift in the league. You see it in Buffalo. Of course, you see it in Baltimore with Derrick Henry. You see with the Lions. You're seeing a commitment to the ground game, to get the ground game going and establish it and be dominant with it. It's a small shift, you know, from the past happy league that we've seen. But I think what's happened over the last couple of years is, and this is also something I said, that these teams have drafted to defend the pass. So now you got teams that can go 3 and 4 deep if they play man, 3 and 4 deep if they play zone, and you're getting better matchups versus teams only having those, you know, like you have that shutdown corner, which is an A+ guy, and then you have a fall off, and your second guy is a C+. Now you got 2 A guys, or you got 2 A guys and a B guy, and it's kind of matching up better. But yeah, the Lions are going to go through. They're going to have to find ways to win. If you watch Buffalo last couple of years, they've had to find different ways to win. It's going to be a shootout one game. It's going to be a defensive struggle one game. Somebody's going to have to come through on special teams the other game, and it's only going to help them bet on a playoff journey later in the season.
That sounds like good stuff, man. Now, do you think in this comparison, they're more run heavy than maybe quarterback centric? Do you think that gives them a little bit different way of being explosive? Because they're not just going to go through golf like Buffalo went through Josh Allen. You know, they're going to go through their run game in their Amon St. Browns and those guys.
I think when you establish your run game, especially you said a 4.8 clip,
yeah,
you have to respect that. You have to start shifting to if y'all. We'll get to the Buffalo game, but there was times where Jacksonville just didn't know what to do, It's going to make it so much more dangerous for St. Brown to get loose and really get going if your cornerback is worried about the run. And that's all it takes. If you got a good play caller and they can just – all it takes is that that off balance to the heel, from heel to toe to heel. You're off balance, and that's all it takes for the rest of the game. Good play calling, and if you got two backs, that's even better because one guy ain't getting tired. You got an A guy and a B guy. You got two B guys. You don't, like I was talking about with the cornerback. You don't have an A guy, and then you going down to a C- guy just to get this guy a breather. You're coming in with more heat. So that's going to be even better for the Lions. I think it's going to open up more now. Of course, Jared Goff isn't Allen. He's pretty good. He's playing pretty good, and he's in his system. So look, Detroit. That was a statement. That was a statement. So that's gonna. I'm telling you, that's gonna open up so much more.
And then real quick, looks like Matty Ice. When Dan Campbell stays on script, that team is scary good. But sometimes he tries to get too damn cute. No, you can't say any better.
When you got that much speed, it's hard not to get cute every once in a while, man. You know what I'm saying? Who did that little that hook and ladder?
That was them.
Disney? Yeah, that's what I thought. And they got something they do in the backfield similar to that, where it goes the pitch to the running back, but a receiver comes in front of him and takes it. So when you got speed, it's hard not to get cute, man. It's tempting.
And that's the off balance play. If you call those plays at the right time when you're running a ball, and you get those, all you need to get is two or three guys where they commit to the run, two of them linebackers or a safety that is run, and they do some type of pitch back. That's 6 points. And now once that happens, you done for the rest of the game. If you got aggressive people on defense, you're done. You're toast for the rest of the game. Now you can't be as aggressive. Now you got to take certain lane. You can't even play your style of ball.
That's crazy.
I think
we had this as one of our games of the week. Eagles 15, the New Orleans Saints 12. We're 3 weeks into the season, and Barkley shines again for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Joe Shan, every time that ticket comes across or they do one of them interruptions and update and you see Saquon take it to the house 65 yards, I just think Joe Shan hopes he's in the room by himself, because I know that death stare from Will Mara has got to be killing them. And I know they've had nice little explosion with their kid Neighbors, but Neighbors and Barkley, I think the owner be real happy with that combination over Neighbors and Singletary. Is that who it is? Yeah, Singletary.
Dallas wanted.
Yeah, it's definitely Singletary.
Dallas wanted Saquon in the beginning.
They wanted Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, that's the story. Dallas wanted Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry lives in Dallas. He resides there. So that was good for him, what he did to them last weekend.
Exactly. Keep the party going. Talk to me about this ball game.
I thought it was ugly, man. I mean, I thought there was going to be way more points scored by both teams. You know, the Saints had scored almost 100 points in their first two games, and then they come here and put a 12-piece up. You know, shit, man. You get fries with 12? I don't know about that. It was almost as bad as that Washington New York Giants game last week. All these field goals and crap. I didn't watch this game, but from what I've seen, Hurst was throwing the hell out of the ball, but his last pass of the game was an interception. So Philly goes down.
Yeah, I think this ball game was we expected a slugfest. We kind of got a slugfest. We just didn't think that the Eagles were going to come out on the right end of this. And we definitely didn't think that the Saints weren't going to be explosive, because we just thought they won't hit their electric plays. Like the Saints have found a way, I thought, to use Kamara to get him going, and then that sets up the play action pass game. But I don't think they got that this week, and they look like who we thought they were. So now you guys wonder, do you pound the table and say they are who we thought they are? Or are you going to wait another week and try to see and let this play out some more? Because the Saints' first 2 weeks came out the thing shooting, but now they came out and they struggled. So I guess we got to figure out who the real New Orleans Saints are. Boss, take it away.
I think it's one of those deals where you come across a team where the matchups aren't in your favor, and I'm talking about the Saints came in with the Eagles defense, and that's not a matchup in their favor. And I think if you giving grades the Eagles defense over the Saints offense, even though they came in hot, and I think that's what you saw with this bout, because this is a KG shootout right here, 15-12. He probably had to change his socks and underpants 2-3 times, sweating out of them things. You know, this is him all day right here. But
I needed overtime. I needed overtime to hit my parlay. I needed 3 more yards passing, man. 3 more yards.
3 more. That's how it be. It beat a small number, Gentleman Jack. But
I know,
man. Look,
but overtime would have helped me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I was mad when he threw that interception. But you know, if you look at it, if you look at Philly's stats, you would think they put up 35 points.
Yeah.
Hurts threw for 311, Barkley 150 almost, and my boy, the tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles, how you say it, Goddard? 170, boy, 170 for a tight end. God dang.
What's his name again?
Goddard. Number 88. Fuck, he's number 88. But no, I mean 10 passes to your tight end, he was balling. I couldn't believe they couldn't get him in the end zone. And like I say, you see, all these are top of the list, top performer numbers of this week. I guarantee you, all 3 of them are top 5 in their stats for this week. 311 for Hurts, 147 for Barkley, and 170 for Goddard. It's crazy they only scored 15 points, man. And the turnovers weren't magical in this game. I think it was only 1. So, surprising game that one was.
What else you got? Goddard.
I'm gonna go back to what we were saying before the season started. You've seen a couple games now where teams are struggling in the red zone, struggling like putting drives together but can't finish. You know, moving the ball inconsistently. I think this is your 3rd week, and this is, you know, I don't know. I can't remember what I said. Was it 3 to 5 weeks where you start seeing clean ball? You know, where it's out of preseason, it's out of the junk, it's out of the miscues and mistiming, the offsides, the miscommunication. You're still going through a lot of that with these teams that didn't play their starters in the preseason. And, you know, that I don't care if y'all were together last year or not. And then we talked about it in the chat a little bit. I don't think people realize that Jason Kelce's a Hall of Famer. He's gone. Right. That makes a big difference. It's one guy, but you're talking about the anchor of the offensive line, the guy, the communicator, the guy that set everything up, the guy that's probably in the huddle, be like, nah, we need to do this, that, and the other because we got him on this side. We got this, or this gap is you know, you're missing that now. That's a Hall of Fame. That's not a good guy. That's a good player. That's a Hall of Famer that just took off. So they got some adjusting to do with that too.
Well, in one offseason, they lost their stout guy in the middle of their defense, Fletcher Cox. And then you also lose Jason Kelce. And when you said that, the first play I thought about, I don't know if you remember, I think it was last year they were playing either Kansas City or they were playing a division team. And like Jalen Hurts is like yelling, kill, kill, kill. And you just see Kelce just turn around, like waving them off.
Yep.
So that's the first thing I thought about when you said that. And that's exactly how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you got that coach on the field. He may not be in the prime position, but he sees something that you're not seeing. And that's no slight to Kyle Jernigan, because Jernigan was somebody they targeted in the draft a couple years ago. He went to, I think he's an Alabama kid, him and Landon. So both of them kind of were in that mode of, if Kelce goes, we got somebody in place. And I think Dickerson is a better guard than he is a center, and Jernigan's is the better center than he is anything else. So it kind of played out the right way. And more than likely, you'll see Dickerson in the Pro Bowl playing guard.
Okay, I got my pronunciation. His name is Goddard.
I just like
Eagles number 88. Last name is Goddard.
I didn't want to.
It don't spell that way.
I
Get me
was
on
like
that.
I was like in the Southern boy Goodard.
Gooder. GOE, man. Gooder.
Go ahead,
But
man.
all right, next game.
Which one do you want to go with? I'll do
We
a
got-
little people's choice.
We got Cincy or we got Buffalo game, right? Left?
Did we
What's
do
better?
the? Damn, I got Rams versus Cowboys. Shows you how much
No, we got
how much I was drinking.
Jacksonville and the Bills
Damn.
and Cincinnati Washington left. Straighten
That's the
up
only two
over
games
there,
we got
man.
left.
That's what
Now
I
we
got
got
on my
4
list.
left. It's the Ravens. Let's go ahead and since I'm here fixing the thing.
Ravens
Yeah,
Cowboys.
Ravens
I know we
Cowboys.
did. Yeah, 3 left.
Highlight of this show was King Dirk or King Henry, as they say.
Can I say something on that game, please?
Oh,
I don't know, sir.
I just want to throw in my 2 cents real quick. This is what I'm talking about. When you see Dallas, this is showing the ineptitude of a GM. You needed a running back. You rather pay. I mean, granted, you could have paid CD, you could have paid Dak. You waited to the last minute to pay Dak. You almost waited to the last minute to pay CD, but you wasn't trying to pay Derrick Henry's price tag because it was too high. Now you don't have a running game whatsoever because Ezekiel Elliott passed his prime. You let Tony Pollard walk because you didn't want to pay his price tag. This is the way this team is constructed is the ineptitude of a old and senile general manager. This is not your year. This is not your time.
Yeah. I thought they was able to get him for $3 million. I thought he was being cheap. That's what I thought the price tag was for Henry.
I don't remember what the price tag was, but I think Jerry wasn't trying to spend too much money period this weekend. He said he was going all in, and I mean I think they get Brandon Cooks, and I think that's it.
But,
that's really all they really added.
Let me say this also. You can't treat the offseason like it starts on September 1st. The offseason, the new season starts, what is it, March 12th? That's when the new league year starts. That's when free agency opened. You had all that time between Super Bowl and free agency to open to evaluate players that will work and start calling around, because you can call around now and find out who's interested and what they're willing to take, and you can start working out some deals, but you can't sign nothing officially. I like that part. You bullshitted around, did not sign your franchise quarterback. No matter how you feel about Dak, he's still their franchise quarterback. Dak is a player in this league. He showed that when he got hurt a couple of years ago, and 5 weeks after he got hurt, he was still leading the league in passing. You waited until the last minute. You waited until the 11th hour to sign your franchise quarterback. That shows ineptitude. That shows you are not prepared.
You sound kind of funny today.
What do you mean that sound funny?
You do something different with your sound?
I think this is his wife talking in his voice through AI.
Nah. You know what it is, boss? He done dug out the Robert Newhouse jersey from the trunk. He in his Cowboy fandom.
That's why I'm like, bro, what do you care if they got an attitude of GM? Let them
because
burn.
I'm being impartial here. That's what I'm trying to be impartial.
Man, let that ship go to the ground. You supposed to be over there laughing and cheesing. Man,
Hey,
what?
I got a plan for those that can't break for themselves.
They listen to the show and change some stuff up, and it's gonna be your fault.
Well, I mean, you can't change that. You messed up already. Who you gonna get off the free? Who you gonna get off the trash heap? People that's on the street for a reason.
Let me tell you something.
Man,
I said there's a couple.
You today off of the words of the biggest Cowboys fan, the big guy KG.
Hey, don't ever disrespect me like that, please. Don't ever disrespect me like that.
He got Cowboys cologne. He spread it in the air. He jumped through it like this.
I'm supposed to be fair and impartial. I'm be fair and impartial. All of a sudden, I'm a Cowboy fan.
But they said you had a Newhouse jersey. I did like
Listen to
Robin
me.
Newhouse though.
I said something a couple of weeks ago about the Dallas Cowboys. They don't have a running back problem. Their problems are rooted way deeper because this team continuously. We've agreed on this show 100 times. You can find running backs if you got the right system, the right play caller, right? Something is wrong with this team. I don't know if it's coaching. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it's the Jerry Jones meddling and now he's getting older, so it's worse and it's like a cloud over the team. They are getting their mouths punched in when these games start. And now you see this rally comeback. It's like they have no energy to start these games. And this is not something that just started. This has been the last 3 years? They come out some of these games completely flat. They have nothing. I don't know if it's Mike McCarthy. I don't know if it's the way they practice. You give a team a mulligan every now and again. Your team come out flat, they get their ass kicked, but you might see it once a season. They are consistently doing this. Something is bigger brewing in Dallas. I don't know if the guys have lost respect for Mike McCarthy. I don't know if that's how do you get the coach with the deaf ear and you're just going about the motions because he's gonna get fired anyway. Are they trying to get him fired? I don't know. Something. Dallas got bigger problems.
I mean, well, KG, you want to just go ahead and talk about your team's biggest problems? Nah, seriously.
Well, Washington's biggest problem is the defense, but we'll get into that later.
But I set you up for that to segue too. I think the biggest problem for Dallas is that they don't have the tackles. You spend all your money on Lawrence. You spend money on Parsons. You paid your corner. But you've known for years now you don't have a middle linebacker situation. You don't have a middle setup, and then you don't have quality tackles. Go ahead, Jack.
Who? No, you said Lawrence. Who are you speaking of?
The number 90.
Oh,
they're left in.
Yeah, I thought you said Lamb. I thought you were referring to CeeDee Lamb. Sorry.
No, you good.
They paid him too.
Right, he got paid too. The problem is they also waited to pay everybody. So now instead of you paying last year's prices, you paying them 2024 price, and you waited till September to pay him. So I mean, KG's got a point there, and that's their situation. That's their dilemma. Up the middle of their defense, it's Mozzie Smith, the kid they drafted out of Michigan, who struggles. They just went out and signed Carlos Watkins from Clemson. He was just on the Commanders practice squad. Now he's on their regular squad. Like, they're trying to find answers, but the problem is I think they waited too late. And like I've said before, unless this kid Rico Dowdell shows me something else, they messed up in their running back room.
Doesn't that say something to you right there? What you said previously, they signed a guy that was on Washington's practice squad. Washington's practice squad. Let that sink in for a minute. They signed a guy off of Washington's practice squad to be on their 53-man roster. That says something, because it used to be for years the other way around. When we were signing people off of Dallas because they played in the Dallas system, we had to have them. Now you're signing guys off of our practice squad to be on your 53-man roster. If that's not an indication that this ship has hit an iceberg, I don't know what is.
I don't think that's the reason.
Man, I haven't heard a hostile call like this since I was listening to 105.3 in Dallas.
I don't think that's the reasoning.
I'm waiting for Welcome to the Jim Rome Show. That's what I'm waiting for.
I'm waiting for Babe Laufenberg to take over for us. Goodness gracious. Woo! All right,
KG is burning.
Man.
All right.
He probably got his hands on the steering wheel, his imprints in them.
Yeah.
I don't got much to say about that game. If you look at it in the stats, it looks equal all the way across, I swear. But that's Baltimore letting Dallas back in the game late. Baltimore was up a ton.
Yeah,
and like we see it, Maddie, in the comments, Harbaugh almost harballed the game. That prevent crap. And like I say, Justin Tucker ain't looking like the Justin Tucker of ways, man. But he ain't that damn old. I thought he was close to 40. He's not. He's like 32. And his numbers. He's 64% this year. Yeah, I saw that. He's 64% this year, and he's a career 88%er maybe. So I don't know. I read that Harbaugh said Tuck's having problems with his technique. So his routine and approach to the ball. I don't understand it when you've been doing it your whole life. But I think it's just called a slump.
You know what's unique about what Jack just said? We actually got a playoff preview in many different ways from the Cowboys and the Ravens. The Ravens choking away a lead, and the Cowboys getting demolished in the first. It's like kind of like remnants of their playoff future, you know. And it's. I just thought about that. I'm like, man, this is what these two teams do. But somebody got to win.
But the Ravens do this every year. Every year, especially in the early part of the season, there's at least one or two games where I'm sitting there, I'm watching the TV, and I'm like, they're going to let this team come back and win. Mm-hmm. And they've done that on several occasions. It's just the hole in their game for some reason. And then Jack's talking about Tuck not being consistent like he normally is. That's gonna cause some issues. But real quick from Matty Ice, KG coming to us from a hand radio in the 80s. Jack already covered this. Harbaugh almost that game away at the end. And then Matty Ice coming in tough. We talking practice squad? Practice squad? So, yeah, craziness, man. I was jumped the gun a little bit, but let's go ahead and get to this preview. This is an interesting game.
Listen to the balls.
49ers 24, Rams 27. Rams had an impressive comeback to take this game over late in the thing, but the Rams are so decimated by injuries, and so is San Fran. This is the Blue Cross Blue Shields Bowl, if I ever seen one.
I don't know what it is about the Rams. I picked the Rams. They have the 49ers number. I don't know what it is, what Sean McVay cooks. But what he cooks is with seasoning, they just have an edge over the 49, whether they're healthy or decimated by injury, like you said, the Blue Cross Blue Shield Bowl. The Rams just got it. I mean, you know, they still got some pieces, but good coaching, baby. Good coaching strategy.
Can I chime in here, please? Can I chime in on my ham radio from the 80s?
Absolutely, good sir.
You got to think about it like this. McVay is on the Shanahan coaching tree. How much of an influence was Kyle to Sean McVay? Just like Mike was. So you got to look at it as almost not quite the teacher, but brother versus brother almost. That's the way you got to look at it, to be honest.
That's it?
Yeah, no.
I thought you had more. I mean, I thought you was, you know.
Yeah, you know, usually when you start out like that, we just take a break and stuff, KG. But all right, you done? All right. Stafford did just enough to win the game, you know. It's crazy that the 49ers had Brock Purdy with almost 300 yards, and then Jennings had one hell of a game, 11 catches, 175, and 3 touchdowns. To lose after performance like that, that's got to hurt, man. And it was their game to win. They should. I don't know. I thought they should have beat them.
You good?
Who's that? Baby? Yeah, I'm good. Okay, so after I'm done, I'll say that's all I got. I'm good.
No, because sometimes you'll pause.
I know. You know me
like,
well,
I'll get ready to go. You be like, and then I think go to.
You know me well, partner.
So that's why I gotta stop sometimes.
I'm good on that. I wanted San Fran to win it, and I thought Purdy had a hell of a game, and of course Jennings had a hell of a game, and he's on everybody's waiver wire too. Nobody had him.
Besides the league with 625 people.
Yeah, he might not be available in our league.
Make you put your thinking cap on. You
I
got
don't have to think.
you got to dig through some stuff.
You
to
gotta
put your
watch
team
all
together.
22.
You
My
have
squad
to.
trump tight. I don't have to look at that. I don't even look at waivers. My
You
squad
have
trump tight.
you have to decide what receiver this week is getting 3 catches versus 2 catches because you need them points. You have to make that decision, baby.
Mm-hmm. What we got?
What
Yeah,
we got
Cincinnati
next?
Washington game. We already talked about it.
No, slow down, Jack. Slow down, baby.
I told you I drank a couple cups of coffee. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's
go with the man
go,
of the hour.
Buffalo.
You gotta
Let's
go with the man of
go,
the hour.
Buffalo.
Oh
last
yeah.
night.
Oh,
That was a good game.
hey.
So what's
Go
it feel
ball.
like to get Doug Peterson fired?
I don't
He's
think
not
this
fired
is
yet, but I mean,
this is
I think this is the beginning of the end.
This isn't a Doug Peterson problem, ladies and gentlemen. I've been telling y'all about my Buffalo Bills for the last couple of weeks. This was a straight Buffalo Bill problem. The Jaguars are fine. The Buffalo Bills, ladies and gentlemen. If you looked at, did y'all see the game?
Yeah.
I saw pieces of it.
I watched it.
I saw a lot of my copy was the Sports Center copy, and then I went back and watched the condensed. But I mean, Buffalo came out and was just what was it? What's the Burger King saying? You can have it your way.
Yes.
This is the second week in a row that Buffalo has imposed their will on a team. Mm-hmm. Now, when Tua was in the game with Miami, they were having a way with the Dolphins. Before Tua left, I know Tua left, but before Tua left, they were having their way with the Dolphins. They were cutting that tuna up, filleting it, handing out pieces on the sideline. Now my Bills come in at home this week, and they struggled with the Jaguars the last couple times. Mm-hmm. They had their way with the Jaguars, and I've said this for the last 3 weeks. The problem with the Buffalo Bills now, when you face them as a defense, is that they have 4 or 5 legit options to go to. And I think you've seen Joe Brady in his prime last night, calling plays. Remember I told you about coming off that toe, going back to that hill unbalanced? The Jaguars didn't know what to do. And one of the commentators made a really good point about the Jaguars being a man team and not being deep enough against Buffalo. They might be deep enough against another team, but because Buffalo is bringing out Khalil Shakir, Mac Hollins, Curtis Samuel, Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, James Cook out the backfield, that's 6 people. That is 6 people. If you only got 3 people to play man and you're a man team, and you don't play a lot of zone, now when you go to zone, you miss communications. You saw a lot of miscommunication with Jacksonville yesterday where people were open. Then, and guess what, Ty? Well, guess what the sugar, I said 6 people. Guess what the icing on the cake is? Joshua Patrick Allen, 17, because it was a couple times in that game where they were playing man and he took advantage of them right up the middle. And the cornerbacks only turned around because the receiver, making their little cut like they're running the thing to see him get 12 yards, 15 yards. You talking about an offense that is they may have ran on 80. I give them 80% clip yesterday because Curtis Samuel didn't get involved. And that's who it's just like when they have that whole game where they're just really going and when they get Curtis Samuel involved, it's gonna be a problem for the rest of the league defensively. Look, I gotta eat crow a couple people. I'm gonna eat crow this game. Man, I was in AJ Epenesa's shit the first couple years. This man is turning into a stud. Ed Oliver. He's not your typical oversized D tackle. He's a speed tackle. You could see him breaking through. Von Miller looked like he got his step back. Von Miller last night about 90%. The spin, and of course Gregory Rousseau in the backfield, right? You see the corners playing Benford, Douglas. I was just impressed with it was a part of the game where I call it McDermott style, where they got a little soft and kind of, took their foot off their necks a little bit. But for the most part, that unit is they're it's fantastic. It's fantastic to see them shut down the Dolphins the way they did, and then come in and impose their will against the Jaguars. And I'll say this before I pass it to you guys, and I said this in the beginning of the season, Matt Milano going to have a small issue coming into the season, because if this defense is playing like that, and I'm not saying he's a good backer, but now this is where the business side of things come in, where you like, man, if we're this good without Matt Milano, my only gripe against Matt Milano has always been, if you're playing Madden, he got 99 awareness, but he only got 78 speed, and he gets beat at times. And I'll go back to the main play he got beat on was the divisional, the Travis Kelce touchdown. He just wasn't fast enough to keep up with Travis, and that's one of his issues. But you see this Buffalo defense on the field, and they're super athletic. They're super fast to the ball. They're baiting quarterbacks into what they want to do. It's fantastic as a Bills fan to see this and see them running on these cylinders, 3-0. They got to go to Baltimore next week. I'm not worried about Baltimore. I'm not worried about Derrick Henry. We'll get to that when we pick the games, but yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah. Buffalo's defense looked real good. Von Miller even got a sack. They held the Jags to 2 for 13 on third down. They sacked the Jags 5 times. I mean, they were disturbing stuff in there. And Bills look sharp, man. 3-0 looked good on you, Buffalo.
Did y'all see my man Duval Paul? I love dark humor. Did y'all see that post he posted?
I missed it.
Trevor Lawrence is the only QB that threw an interception to somebody that has died.
Shit. Yo,
yeah, that's a terrible trade. But that was my lead. Like, I think last night was one of those moments where just being able to see the kid Harmon get an interception, make a play after what we know he went through a couple years ago, 2 years ago, on the field on a Monday night. I think Buffalo had the right plan. Let him be there last year, even if it was only ceremonial, and then come through this year and like give him a year to get healthy, get his feet under him, get a little bit stronger, whatever it is. I saw the post game with him and Von Miller, and I mean, I told you, I sent the thing during the game. I was like goosebumps because I saw the interception in my Bleacher Report feed. And it was just like, wow, this kid's here and he's doing this. And it's right after then SportsCenter comes in or ESPN jumps in from Cincinnati, which is another beautiful piece about it. But just watching as much as I could about Buffalo last night, you're right. Y'all got options. You got more options than you ever had. And I think the way you run the team now, it was paramount for you to get rid of the guy that was there before, because you wouldn't be able to get to all of this if special delivery was there.
You see that going on you see that went on in Houston on their game. Force feeding. That, man, look, it's only a certain handful of guys you can force feed. Justin Jefferson is one of those guys. I'm trying to think somebody else. What's another receiver that come to mind where you can force feed?
Tyreek Hill's one.
Tyreek Hill. You can force feed these guys.
Oh, yeah.
Justin, Tyreek, CeeDee Lamb.
Mm-hmm. Jefferson?
Yeah, Justin Jefferson.
Right now, Malik Neighbors, because they are force feeding the ball the last 2 weeks. He
made a hell of a catch in that corner.
He had 12 targets against Washington. He had like 10 targets this past week. So I guess you got to feature him now. Jamar Chase, even though he only got 6 or 7 targets, but I mean, every time Washington decided to show that they was going single high, Joe Burrow was like, "We're going to take you to another place."
Yeah. And I it's just when you're force feeding a guy that isn't that guy, isn't one of those guys that can break the game open. And I'm not trying to shit on Steph because he's a great receiver. He's a really good receiver. He's a great route runner, but he's not a game breaker.
Right.
You know, he's a game breaker because you got the run game going, you got this going, and the cornerback cheated a little bit and he got past him. He's not getting past him just off a blow by. That's just, it's not happening. And Houston is going to learn this the hard way, and they're bleeding right now. I don't know if you stop that bleeding with Steph in there because it's just going to get worse. Hey, y'all seen it at Buffalo last couple years. It's just going to get worse. You got the young QB. And unfortunately, he's the veteran there. It's just like, what week are we waiting for this to blow up on the sidelines? You know that.
I think the difference though is, CJ is going to have a stronger personality maybe than Josh. I think he's going to fight back some.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be their kicker and their key. But I want to get to this Matty comment because Trevor Lawrence hasn't won a game since he signed that contract.
Really?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I actually was listening to what's the guy's name? He's a regular caller. He's a regular on Grant and Danny as an analyst. I apologize for not knowing this brother's name or this fella's name, but he said, "Oh no, I know exactly who it was. It was Jay Gruden." He said the most maddening thing about when you watch the tape of Trevor Lawrence is for a stretch of plays, he looked like the number one pick in the draft. And then he'd have another set of plays right after that where he looked like a 6th rounder. And I think some of that's coming to fruition. I don't know if he got problems at home. I don't know if like there's a mental thing that he's missing out on, but he doesn't look like the same quarterback from 2 years ago when they made that playoff run. He looks like he's searching for something. He's trying to find something. I don't know what that something is, but maybe he don't know who the real Trevor Lawrence is, and he got to figure out when he's going to stand up. But he looked awful yesterday against y'all. He missed some throws. That throw to Harmon, I mean, Jesus.
Hamlin.
I'm sorry.
One of the commentators said something. I want to touch on it while you're saying it. He said he think Trevor Lawrence was trying to be too perfect. Perfect feet, right. Perfect shoulders, perfect throw, perfect hair. And I think, of course, what is he making? $55 million a year? Is it 55? And that comes with a tremendous amount of pressure. And I think that they gotta kind of just like, hey, bring it down a little bit, relax, bring maybe dial back the offense a little bit from it because he showed you he got the arm. That's not the issue. I think the issue right now is confidence. I think he's a little rattled.
Right.
So yeah, man, look, it's crazy when you see these quarterbacks go through these slumps like this, man. But I didn't know he hadn't won a game though.
Mm-hmm. It looks like a member of the Jack Carr group throwing in something for us.
I forgot about Keon Coleman.
There we go.
They sat him the first quarter because he was late. He was late to a meeting or late to practice, so he was benched the first quarter. But that's 8 people that on the Bills offense that you have to worry about touching the ball. And I know we got to get to the next game, but it's just like, who are you going to double team? You going to double team Kincaid so Cook can run up the middle? You going to double team Cook so Kincaid and Knox can go out off? If Keon Coleman start rolling, you going to double team him? You see how dangerous Khalil Shakir is across the middle. You going to double team him and then have Curtis Samuel hit you down the sideline for a long one? What are you going to do? Then when you have the perfect coverage, Josh Allen, you're a cornerback covering your man, and you see 17 run past you. You got lockdown coverage, and you just turn around. Josh Allen running past you down the sideline for a touchdown. What are you going to do?
Now, Buffalo stacked and packed, no doubt, B. But, you got that little dude that runs around the field called the injury bug. You got to worry about that,
absolutely.
too. You might be stacked right now.
Absolutely.
I'm serious. On paper, they stacked and packed. I like me a team like that. You know what I'm saying? My little salt and pepper drill.
Does the Buffalo Bills know about the injury bug, baby? Woo, woo,
Eh,
woo,
Yeah.
woo.
And you
Man,
well,
talk
they're,
about Matt Milano. I think the Matt Milano issue is more so the fact that he hasn't been available the last 2 years and some changes. That
2
might
years,
be the reason why he's out of the thing. You know
and
what I'm
and
saying?
I
No
don't
love
know.
from the tub.
Yeah, I don't know his contract offhand, but it's just like I talk about this all the time. If you're a GM, the business side unfortunately has to come into play now, especially when you're playing. The defense is playing one of the um, better defensive playing they've ever had. This is like they look really good, man. They look really good, really oiled. So I guess that's not a question for now. But it's something you have that Brandon Beane has to think about and figure out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's crazy. So now we've come to that time of the show. All right, what's going on with my banner? Here we go. Only in America can.
Hey, who picked the Commanders to win this game?
Probably you.
you.
Yeah.
Because I saw the secondary, and trust me, the secondary didn't let me down. They was trying to give it all up. They looked like a lot lizard at a tow yard. So let's not get too crazy on this ball game.
But them last two offensive series they had, man, they managed to move the sticks and burn some clock, both of them series. So I tell you, I've been down on this Washington team because
That's why we
I've
starting.
been up. Huh?
That's why we starting with you.
Oh, thank you. Here, give me the big screen. No, I've been down on this Washington team the first couple of games because I've been up on them before, man. I mean, this could be same as like the RG3 hype I had, and then what happened? Boom. So offense looked great, play calling looked good. They're getting dudes involved in the ball game that I wanted them to get involved. They're hitting Terry deep. They hit him deep. Well, one on one really deep, but Terry got 4 for 100.
Oh,
Terry should have
never mind.
got. Terry still needs more targets, man. He's not, 4 catches. I think he got targeted 7 times.
Yeah.
Terry needs to be targeted more than 10 times a game.
No,
But
he's not that guy. But go ahead.
the run game was all right. I think them boys need to block a little better. But the play action was working good. Defense still ass. I tell you, it's time to put Payne and Allen on the bench. What's that youngin's name we got? Javante? I don't know.
Just call him Johnny. Just call him Johnny.
Jean Baptiste?
Him too.
He's a D end and he played solid. He got sacked yesterday. And then we got that boy Cleveland Farrell, who's out yesterday, but them two can do something. But Payne and Allen are doing nothing. Me and my boy, he was watching Payne, I was watching Allen. Every time it looked like they just stood up with the linemen and danced. I didn't see any swim moves, any just bull rushes. Every snap, Payne and Allen had no effect, man. I don't get it. 200 mil gets you that. And then, like I was saying in our group text, man, at the end of the game, I thought Joey was going to bring him back. You can't ever sleep on him, especially with the defensive backs we got. So Washington's offense and play calling look really, really good. And that shows improvement from week 1, week 2. We haven't seen that in a long time. Usually they just go back and do the same damn game plan. Go ahead.
I said this.
What you say?
I want all the glory. Because I've been saying week to week.
Well, you picked Washington to Cincinnati. You get all the glory, B.
I said last week when they went in the red zone 4 or 5 times again, I said you could see something. You can see it developing a little bit. You can see it. Midnight Rider said you can see the poise on Jaden Daniels. You can see it in his face when he comes to the sideline. He's not shook. He's more of, let's get our shit together. Let's go. What are y'all doing? And that's a complete change from what this organization's had at quarterback. And I give it to Taylor Heineke. He had some of that, but he didn't have the talent that Jaden Daniels has. So now you have the talent and you have the poise coming out. And I give the offense yesterday I give him a B. You know, I'm gonna tell you why I give him a B, because they left opportunities on the table, right? And I say this because if they don't leave them opportunities on the table, I always look at missed opportunities. This ain't a game. We talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a game. This is 40. This is 45 to 33. They're not in it. You getting, if you got Joe Burrow in your fantasy, you getting points because he didn't threw for 450 yards garbage time.
Did they punt this, DJ?
Nah, nobody punted.
No, they have not punted. They have not punted. You can ready to say that?
Go ahead, Jack. Let it out.
You can ready to say it?
No, do your
They
thing.
haven't. They haven't. What was the stat? They said they haven't punted
Or had a turnover
or had a turnover in 2 games, and that's never happened in the NFL.
since
That's
1940.
amazing. Well, since Super Bowl era. That's amazing.
And let me, because I know Midnight Rider's doing over there. Let me get what I got to get out so we can get to him. It is. I mean, let me stay with the game. You got to ask yourself this as a Commanders fan: are your corners really bad, or you don't have any pass rush?
Correct. Bingo.
Because if you don't have any pass, I'm telling you, you're looking at Mr. Buffalo. I've been through it all. If you can't get to the quarterback, it's only so long your cornerbacks, whether they're in zone, something's going to break down eventually, and you have no penetration. You have no hand, no hurries, no breathing on it. Something. Sometimes you don't have to get a sack if you're getting in there and just getting a hand pass them, just throwing the timing off a little bit. They can't even get that. So do you have really bad corners? Do you have really bad secondary? Or do you have a defensive line issue? Do you have a $200 million issue? Now, I alluded to it a little bit the last show. I said somebody particular need to go. I said the foundation, I said they've been pouring the cement, but it's one part of the cement. The foundation, they can't pour the cement because it has to be redone. I said before they gave Daron Payne that money that they should have got him out of town. Okay. Mm-hmm. John Allen was balling a little bit. I really think there's still some type of rift with them on the field. But that little blow up they had on the sideline, I really think that's affecting their play. Because John Allen can play. Now, he can ball. He's shown it. But for some reason, I don't think it's injury. I think it's mental with them guys. I really think they despise each other and they hate lying. And when you guys have played sports, when you hate the person, that has an effect on you. When you hate somebody that's playing with you, you're still out there giving it your all, but that's not your brother. It makes a big difference. So and one other thing real quick, it's really good to see. I grew up in this area. It's really good to see that the fans of this team glow after a primetime win, because this team has been absolute dog shit on primetime for a long time. And I said in the chat last night that Jaden Daniels, I hate going off the limb. I don't want to seem dramatic, but the Jaden Daniels last night gave you reminiscences of the RG3 Saints game. That's how I kind of had that feeling, because I'm watching the game and I'm like, you don't feel that sink in your stomach like you're waiting for the letdown. You're waiting for him to make a play. And that is a huge leap forward if you're a Commanders fan. Waiting for somebody to make a play instead of waiting for that doomsday, game over, turn it off, and we're done. So just to see the glow on social media, to see the glow in the area, I seen Commanders jerseys outside today. That's a huge step to start to bring the fan base back a little bit. That's a huge step. I'm telling you, man. I wish the big guy KG is on. I want to throw one more thing out there. I'm going to throw it to the Midnight Rider. Give me the Commanders to win the East.
Maybe. I get paid. I'm in with you. You want to go? If we want to go there,
give me the Washington Commanders to win the East.
B. We have certain affiliation.
Cha-ching.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I just want to put it out there.
I say we take that, and if we can still get the plus 6.5.
I'm telling you, I just got a feeling this. Dan Quinn is a defensive person. He's going to fix that. It's going to get fixed as much, even if it's leaking. It got the Flex Seal tape on it. It's going to get tweaked and fixed. He's trying to figure that out. He's a defensive guy. He's going to get that figured out. I got faith in that. There's only so much you can fix, but I'm telling you, that right there, if you controlling the offense like they were last night on offensive side, man, I'm telling you, man, Midnight Rider, take it away. Because
I think the back signal went up.
Look here, B. I got this written down. I'm gonna put it in concrete too. It says BJ said Washington will win NFC East after picking Cincinnati upset in Week 3. So
give me
that sound fine?
Give me the command.
No, I picked them to win 8. Hope they'd win 9. And I did put them down as an NFC wild card in the beginning. So I'm not picking them to win the goddamn East. Jeez, you crazy.
Sir, big
Can
guy.
I chime in?
Sure.
Welcome back.
I had to step away for a second, but let me say this. Washington played a hell of a football game offensively. Offensively. They played a hell of a game. Defensively, I got to give that defense a D minus. And I'm being generous with that.
Sorry.
I got to give them a D minus. I mean, they showed up and they held them to a couple of field goals, and a couple of field goals were missed. So that's why they got a D. But Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne, where are you? Like, they're on the back of the milk carton. Where are you? Honestly.
Nowhere.
All this money, you get no penetration. No. You're not making plays. It's guys that aren't being paid as much as you that are making plays. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, why do we get rid of John Ridgeway? Like, why? Honestly.
Whoa.
I'm gonna make you real mad. Casey Toohill may have had a sack for Buffalo last night. Thank y'all.
Why did we get rid of Casey? That's my whole thing. It's guys that made it's guys that made plays. Now, granted, they weren't your big name guys. They weren't your Alabama boys, but they made plays and you got rid of them. Go ahead. Come on. Go ahead. Poke holes in what I'm saying. Go ahead.
No. First and foremost,
I'm crying over here.
Wagner played a little bit on defense. Wagner had a good game.
I've said on the show many times that the mistake was you didn't trade one of the tackles and sign Sweat. I said that time over time because you don't trade 6'6" freak of nature. You don't get rid of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you dating Halle Berry, you want to kick out of your bed, and you kicking out of your bed for just some random, you're doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So that's first and foremost. B, you will not come in here and out here pitch woo for John Ridgeway and what's your boy's name again? We're not doing that.
Casey Toohill.
Okay. But
go ahead.
But here's the thing. I can do that. I can come in here and pitch woo for those players. You know why? You know why I can do that? Because I wrote the fucking book, Jerry. I can do that. I wrote the book. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm not trying to say that they were the end all, the be all guys and this, that, and the third. No, they made plays to a certain extent. They made plays.
You want guys to give effort that have a motive.
Can I ask the room for a favor?
Yeah, absolutely. What you got?
Week 8. Jack, write it down, put it in a Sharpie.
Got you.
Hey,
Got you.
watch this team. Because last night you got your real first fledged taste of Jazon Newton, the kid they drafted. Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead. You said timeout. So
I was wondering which game you was talking about. Which team? That's all. Now you said Newton. I know you're talking about Washington, and I like Newton and that Jean Baptiste or whatever. He's a youngin' too. So continue.
I appreciate you. I appreciate this, Jack. You allowed me to speak. Jesus Christ, what are we doing here?
I'm liking that. I know what team you was talking about, fool.
But no, I think there's going to be a change in this defense, and it's going to happen the next 3 weeks. It's going to be Jazon Newton playing regular minutes. You're going to see a difference when the kid they drafted out of Temple, McGee, gets to play linebacker. Hopefully he's healthy when he comes back. But when he gets to play and being part of that linebacker rotation, you're going to see a little bit of a difference. There's two things I noticed last night. When our linebackers blitzed last night, they were hesitating. They would come around that corner and they'd pull up and then they'd go. And that little half second or second killed them. In the middle, I mean, John and what you call it, they just do what they do. Every now and then they'll get a push, but all they do is push their guy back into the quarterback's lap, but then you can't sack the quarterback because you're still behind the guy. Like they don't, it's weird. They like the bull rush way too much for my liking. They don't get around people. And then when they
don't
try
do move,
they line up in like this wide outside guard technique, and they just give up the middle of the field to let the running back run through. And now you got a linebacker filling, and he got a highway. You know what I'm saying? That he got a cover. That's why I think Chin's missed a couple of tackles just because that space between the two D tackles was just like an ocean. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really shoot your shot because you got to figure out which way this guy going to go and not get embarrassed. I noticed last.
Wasn't that the drawback?
Hold on.
Wasn't that the drawback of being in a bull rush entirely too much? Wasn't that the drawback that we've had on several D linemen, like Arakpo, the one Kerrigan was a one-trick pony at times? Wasn't it the drawback?
No.
We don't talk about those people, but I'm talking about right now.
Kerrigan had moves, man.
I'm asking a question. If you pull my coat and follow me on this, and you understand what I'm saying, it seems like guys always want to use their strength, and they always want to bull rush. Allen and Payne, okay, you're doing the same shit that you've been doing for years and it hasn't worked. I don't really like Allen playing D tackle. I like Allen on the outside better. That's just my opinion. Because he when he came into the league, he was on the outside first.
Yeah, but
he was on the D.
But now he's too big.
So here's the thing I proposed to somebody before. I said that at some point, I think when the kid McGee gets healthy, you'll see, or if they decide to use Jamin a little bit more, I think you'll see a front where you'll have Newton at end over the tackle. It'll be a 3-man front. It'll be Allen on the nose and Payne on the other side of the tackle. And then what you'll try to do is use options for your linebackers to shoot gaps, because they'll try to hold them up or they'll create some space and maybe the linebackers can shoot through. But last night, I mean, the other problem we have is we just can't get people on the ground. We get to the people in the backfield, the run by Chase Brown where he goes back 30 yards, Joe Burrow gets a bump. Next thing you know, he gets the first down. Like, those are the things that's killing them right now.
That was Allen that missed that tackle.
There's another play where they missed another tackle and the guy gained another 5 or 10 yards. And it's just like, all right, if we can just get people on the ground, that's fine. The one thing I liked about last night, and nobody else is going to like this, but what I did see was guys, and I think KG said something about this, because guys are trying to deliver the shot. They were being very physical last night. The only problem was they weren't getting people to the ground. And sometimes that shot was hitting somebody else. And when you hit yourself and somebody else, guess who falls off? The running back or the receiver that you're trying to tackle. So I think I like Mikey Samersil. He played corner against Jamar Chase last night, got burned on the bomb. Yeah, okay, shoot me on that one. I don't mind that. You got an all-pro going against a young corner. And he basically gave up his ground and didn't really move his feet. But I think, as KG said, I'd rather invest in John Baptiste, that kid on the end. I'd rather invest in him and let him get more opportunities. I'd rather Dante Fowler is starting to show. I don't know if you guys are noticing it, but he's starting to flash a little bit. So that's the defensive side. On the offensive side, we got to get Eckler back. Eckler's been a factor back, whether it's in returns, whether it's been in the passing game, whether it's been running the football. He does everything, and he makes everything go. And then I think once we lost Eckler, I think the Bengals decided crash down on everything and figure out the rest. And I think they crashed on BJ because they noticed that on Brian, and because we like going up the middle a lot, and that was their way of defending that option. Now we get to the kid, JD5 Alive. I mean, the kid makes plays. He's got this aura. I want to compare it to Robert, but I don't at times because of his poise and his attitude. His poise and his attitude is like he's got this arrogance that I got this. And I think that's something this team didn't have before. And I'm gonna let get it back to everybody else because I kind of went on a little tangent.
Yeah. Let me say this real quick because I got to run. But the thing with Jaden Daniels, if you look at it, his confidence level, like on those 4th and shorts and those 4th and 1s, he was looking over the sideline talking, "Let's go, let's go, no, let's go, let's go." He kept telling them, "Let's go." He wanted it, and I thought about that last night too. I said, "Is this RG3 2.0?" But I was like, "Nah," because his arrogance. He doesn't have arrogance. Arrogance is a bad word. He has confidence, but his confidence is totally different. He has confidence not only in his teammates, he has confidence in himself. And it's not, "Oh, I make my guys better and my guys this." Is no, we as a team, we as a family. It's a difference. It's a different type of aura around Jaden Daniels than it was around RG3. And I'm not knocking RG3 and I'm not kicking him right down. But it's a different aura. It's a different feeling right now because this kid is making throws that they said he couldn't make. And I love the cornerback from Cincinnati, high school offense, but she got burnt a couple of times. I love it. But this right here, this is what it's about. Him doing what he has to do, but staying confident, not cocky, but confident.
Daniel's definitely poised. And that's something I said from day one about him. I like the way he controls the offense. Audibling in the preseason games. I think I want to see Jaden Daniels in his man body. I want to see Jaden Daniels when he's 26. Maybe thicken up a little bit. I think he's small, skinny. And if he can do what he's doing right now as a young NFL player and continue to grow up, 26-year-old Jaden might be nice. And Eckler came out of the game with a concussion and a laceration. I was unaware about the laceration. I knew he had a concussion. And like I said, Washington involved him in that offense very much Sunday. And they need to do that with him. But with a concussion, I doubt he's playing next week.
Right.
This Sunday. I doubt it. So then B-Rob got to step up or
they got McNichols in the back, and they got the kid Wild.
McNichols, he could be a third down back. Yes, sir. McNichols catches the ball.
But don't forget, Eckler returning kicks too has been big. He had a 98-yard return last week, and then he had a big return this week.
He has been big in the kickoff return. I thought he was taking that one to the house. I really did. Or did he?
He didn't.
Where did they knock him out? They knocked him out of bounds on that one, didn't they? On the kickoff?
On the 30.
40-yard line, yeah. But
yeah.
He was a kick returner when he first came in this league, I believe.
I think he was more of a special teams player. I don't think he was a return man.
No return man?
Not that I know of, but we can always check the sources.
He probably on the row up front, then, you know. But yeah, Eckler's a gamer, man. He's a playmaker. And if you got Eckler and Terry making plays, Washington should win a lot of games. But the offense has to get the ball to those gentlemen. They can't make plays if they don't get the ball.
So possible unwanted segue. Guards just won and clinched the 2 seed thanks in part to the Lane Thomas homer. This last couple of weeks of the season has been crazy. I see the Royals have been giving it up. They've been on a losing streak. The Tigers have been winning everything. But before I go, actually, we don't have time to go there. So let's open up Thursday with a baseball kind of review. Real quick, one last Commander's Bite. Just, Jack, you've heard me say this name a couple of weeks. Luke McCaffrey. Sure. No, the kid Noah Brown. Hold on. Time out. Just pause. You got an influx of talent coming in, and these guys have to. They just not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
But just wait and see, because I think Jalen's missed a couple things. He missed that big play that BJ's talking about, Sanat across the field. He missed the one on Terry. So it's week 3. Like we haven't punted in 2 weeks. Let's just take our time. It's okay. It's okay to let this simmer on. You know what I'm saying?
I'll go with it, but I'm not breaking out the powdered sugar yet. I'm happy with
We're not worried about the powdered sugar.
The growth. I'm happy with the growth. I'm not jumping up and down yet.
You ain't got to take the powdered sugar out, but when you open the cabinet and look at it, just look up at it a little bit and be like, you might want to pat it. Just pat it a little bit. Okay, I see.
Because you ain't taking it out in a while. You know, you gotta, because the first time you use it, you have to use a spoon to scoop it up.
Yeah. I want to be excited, dude. I do. I want to be excited for Washington. I do. It's been a long time since I've been excited. But I got to say,
at that time where Father Time and Time himself says that we don't do no overtime. So for the big guy KG in the background, the gentleman Jack Carr, the boss BJ, and myself, the Midnight Rider, we are out of here. Talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to.